She has been in love with her boyfriend for 10 years, but he never let her see his face. But on this day, she found her boyfriend covered himself with a bed sheet. The woman walked to her side with a puzzled face. When her boyfriend wasn't looking, she lifted the sheet. In front of her eyes was a transparent, reaching out to feel. There was really a person. The woman was shocked. She couldn't believe it. The boyfriend she had loved for 10 years was actually a transparent person. It turns out that men are born different from childhood. Her mother thought it was a gift from God. She named him Angel. Years later, the boy grew up. He didn't go to school. He couldn't communicate with others. The only one who could talk to him was his mother. She taught her son how to use cutlery and taught him to write and draw on the walls. He occasionally wore his mother's high heels in a naughty way. The two of them play games together happily every day. But that was it. Outsiders thought that the mother had some kind of disease, always talking to the air. So she was sent to a mental hospital, and the boy quietly followed her. Since his mother came here, he would look out the window curiously every day, and there was a building across the street from the hospital. There was a girl living there, but at night his mother instructed him.
Tu ne devras jamais leur parler.
Pourquoi?
Toi, tu peux les voir, mais eux ne pourront jamais te voir.
The next day he found the girl downstairs who seemed to be watching him. The girl was swinging happily. He slowly approached the girl. Slowly he stopped, but she seemed to sense something and said hello to him.
Bonjour.
Tu me vois?
Pas avec mes yeux, mais je t'entends et je sens ton odeur.
Turns out that the girl is blind. The boy was a little nervous about his first contact with an outsider. The girl just tried to shake his hand, but he hastily avoided it. He lied to his mother and asked him to go back. The girl said she had no friends. Hope he can come to play with her more often in the future. The boy went back to his mother and told her about it, but his mother only said one thing to him.
Qu'est-ce que tu vas devenir quand je disparaîtrai?
Boy did not understand what the meaning of this sentence was. It wasn't long before he found the girl again. The two of them played happily and happily. From then on, they became close and good friends. With the passage of time, they both grew up to be adults, so they spent time together day after day. They grew to have feelings for each other. But on this day, the girl said a heartbreaking news. She had to go to a faraway place because her family had contacted a doctor for her to treat the girl's eyes. It would take a long time. She said she would come back to her when she recovered. She told him to wait for her. The boy was sad and cried. He couldn't let the girl go. He was afraid that she would come back and see him as he was now. The girl told the angel to close his eyes. Then she turned around and left. Since the girl left, he came to the swing every day, remembering the good times between them. It wasn't long before the girl sent a letter. For some reason, her surgery was postponed. The exact time of her return was still uncertain. During this time of waiting, my elderly mother's condition was getting worse. At night, she called him to her bedside. She told him about a lake house in the countryside. When she died, she told him to go and live there alone. The next day his mother died of her illness. The boy cried very hard. He put his mother's favorite clothes over her body. Then he hid in the corner and watched his mother being pushed away. Now the world. The girl was the only one left who knew of his existence. The boy listened to his mother and went to the lake house, but he imagined the girl's appearance all the time. Because of the longing for the girl, he came to the girl's house downstairs and smashed the glass with a stone. Then he sneaked in. He picked up the girl's perfume, smelling the familiar scent, and played the piano she liked to use. And so on, day after day. Year after year. One day the girl finally came back, but she was no longer the same girl. She had become more mature and looked more tasteful. The boy was excited and ran over to her, but he did not dare to enter the door. He could only look at her quietly through the glass, because he did not have the courage to identify with her. Then the girl couldn't wait to come to the hospital. After questioning, she learned that there was no such person as the angel. She searched for the angel for a long time without any clues. One day she accidentally found the grave of the angel's mother. She left a letter on the tombstone. She expects the angel to see and meet her. When the girl left, the boy opened the letter. On the screen was a request to meet her. The boy hesitated for a long time and decided to write back to the girl. He asked his girlfriend to close her eyes in order to meet her. Because his girlfriend did not know that he was a transparent person, she had to do as he said. At that moment, the boyfriend was approaching behind him, and the woman also seems to feel him. Then she was blindfolded. The two of them did some pleasant things. After a while, the woman longed for her lover to be by her side for real, and this time her boyfriend obliged her. He took the woman to the lake. When she opened her eyes, she was amazed by the view in front of her.
C'est beau. Je trouve qu'ici c'est un bel endroit pour que je te regarde la première fois.
Non, pas maintenant.
Alors dis-moi quand.
Ce soir.
At the end of the night, boyfriend wraps himself in a bed sheet. The girlfriend came to her boyfriend with a face full of expectation, but the moment she lifted the sheet, but she couldn't believe it. Her boyfriend of 10 years was a transparent person. Her boyfriend tried to explain to her, but the woman subconsciously backed away. She couldn't accept this fact. She cried on her knees all night, but when she woke up the next day, the boyfriend only left a letter. No matter how she screamed, there was no response. She tried to touch him with her hands, but could not feel his presence. The letter said she was the only one who knew he existed. Hope she forget him, and he would disappear into the world to become transparent again. Just as she was about to pack her things and leave, the woman suddenly realizes something. In fact, she can't let go of her boyfriend. So many years of relationship, how can say forget? Just need time to accept all this, rather than not seeing him. It would be more painful to lose him. She went outside and closed her eyes. Using her senses, she found the lake house where her boyfriend used to bring her. She could feel that her boyfriend was nearby, and he was hiding in the corner, afraid to make a sound.
Laisse-moi venir près de toi.
Just then her boyfriend fell into the lake by accident. He can't swim either. The woman saw the situation and immediately jumped into the lake to rescue. But the lake was so vast. To find a transparent person is so difficult. So the girl carefully observed. Through the water bubbles, finally found the boyfriend. It took a lot of effort to save her boyfriend on the shore. Two people lying on the ground looking at each other. Maybe this is love. Although open eyes cannot see, but close your eyes are all you. From then on, they lived a happy life. They gave birth to a little baby. The three of them also took a family photo, and then they embarked on a career in magic interpretation. Love can ignore the reality and change of circumstances. It can also break through the boundaries of sensuality and rationality. I have never seen you, but you are the only one in my eyes. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Watch a good movie and don't get lost.